one, tarnation!
I meant to do that.
Howdy folks, this is Applegeek, and here we are once again. This is My Little Pony Season 8, Episode 22. And once again, the hype is insane on this one, and I've got my friends bugging me non-stop to watch it, so here we are, finally getting to this, and once again, completely 100% spoiler-free. I have no clue, still hoping for a good Apple episode here, but beginning to wonder if it's not in the cards anymore this season, but I guess we'll watch and find out. So without any further ado, episode 22 starting now. Oh, back at the school.
The Tree of Harmony remains one of the most powerful sources of magic known to ponydom. And though it has been at the root of magic and friendship from the moment it was planted, its ways are mysterious, almost as if it has a mind of its own. It's a tree.
Headcanon becoming true.
A castle. Was that before or after Discord made chocolate rain?
I'm down to learn pony history.
You can all show me what you've learned on tomorrow's test. Friendship's effect on the course of equestrian history. Remember, study groups are both fun and effective.
So, who wants to study together?
With other students?
We're gonna end up at the Tree of Harmony, aren't we?
Yeah. If you want the real scoop, there's only one place to go. Hello, oh magical equestrian tree.
Seriously?
Tell me everything I need to know about friendship?
I swear, if that tree talks, what? Okay. I have a ridiculous amount of headcanon about Tree of Harmony and things, and I'm scared to hope here, but this could be huge. This could be really huge. Of course, the bigger question is, are the young six going to somehow end up tied to the elements? That's a really big stretch right now, but we'll see. Okay.
The elements of harmony grew the tree? No, the pillars grew the tree.
The tree grew the
What lies beneath?
And the box with 6 locks.
But our professors failed and unlocked
boy.
the locks.
I'm so gonna fail.
Guys, check this out!
What is
That's a plumbing
that?
diagram.
I was gonna say that looks like
Sink.
underneath the sink. Yeah.
What does that have to do with equestrian history?
Nothing. I just can't believe that's how sinks work.
Seriously? Oh, hey, Yona. Oh, she's totally chill.
Apparently, yaks no love study groups. Shh.
Oh. What? That was a good hang time.
Hey, Cozy. What are you doing?
What?
I volunteered to help Professor Sparkle organize these books. So, experts on friendship history yet?
I think I'd be better off studying the plumbing book. This stuff is impossible.
Okay, how's Cozy figure into this?
Oh, come on, Gallus. With good friends and solid study habits, anything is possible.
That is creepily good.
How about you just tell us what's on tomorrow's test, Professor?
No.
Now hold on a sec. I can't give y'all a sneak peek. That there wouldn't be honest.
Yeah. Hey, what?
Golly, it's so inspiring how relaxed you all are about studying friendship, considering your disadvantage.
Do what?
What do Pony mean? Just consider where you all came from. If Sandbar hadn't sacrificed so much of his time to get you up to speed, who knows how behind you'd be.
That's not
What are you up to?
Growing up as a love-starved changeling? Or hiding underwater from an evil king all those years? Trusting any creature must be so hard for you. And griffins never want to be around any creature, even other griffins. And dragons are so fierce
Okay.
compared to us. There must be days you can't wait to get away from all us cute
What
ponies.
is going on here?
Every pony knows yaks think yaks are best. Making friends with any other creature must
That's
seem
adorable.
like a step down.
Aww.
It's just so impressive how you keep trying to understand friendship, even though it isn't in your nature. Oh,
Wow.
I'll let you borrow my notes. It's
That-
what friends do. I'll be right back.
That was the pep talk of the century.
Should get back to studying.
I get it. It feels very manipulative. I don't know what's going on here.
Could you stop that clicking? I'm trying to focus.
Dude.
What? We have a test. I don't know every detail about every adventure the professors went on like you do.
That's why we're studying together.
Right, to help us disadvantaged creatures.
Ooh.
You're not confused. Why are we all upset?
Me? Okay. And we're more
Glance at that plumbing book, but I'm pretty sure this isn't supposed to be here.
crystal root. What is?
What are you doing?
Dragon, strange magical cave. What do you think I'm doing?
Oh. Okay, so. Oh my word! It's an underground tunnel to the tree.
I don't think any pony knows this is down here.
What? What?
Welcome.
Headmare Twilight?
What?
Where are we?
What?
Where you need to be.
That's not Twilight.
You're not confused.
It is as I feared. You are not one. What has happened?
Or
We were studying friendship's effect on.
is
history.
Twilight and Cozy Glow
Since
doing a thing
friendship
here?
just isn't in our nature. What's the point?
You do not believe friendship is in your nature?
That is not acceptable. Our
Whoa.
headlamp is glowing, you guys. What is going on?
I'm with Silverstream. I'm.
For the test. A test, yes. By sunrise, this door will be closed. Finish the test before then, and you may go. Fail the test, and here you will stay.
Whoa! Whoa!
Huh?
Okay, this is intense. Either there's something super ultra mystical going on with the Tree of Harmony, or I'm gonna say this is Twilight and Cozy Glow
Twilight sent me home.
trying a very unique teaching method.
Wait, am I suspended? Any grip here? They must be topside.
Was like vision quests or something going on here? What are the Oh! Storm King creatures! Oh!
Storm King? He's back?
Oh my word.
No exits.
Okay, this is
Deal.
shaping up to be one of the best episodes of the season. What is
Not cool.
claustrophobic?
For yaks.
They're facing their worst fears.
Just empty cave. Nothing in here can hurt.
That's a big spider.
Things like this just
Nope.
don't happen.
Nope. 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 Nope.
Huh? And I told her she was the cutest pony of all ponies.
Oh, aren't you just the most adorable?
No, on so many levels.
Wow.
Huh?
That
And
is.
let's compliment each other.
This is Smolder's worst fear.
You look like that. What do you mean?
Oh.
You look the same. Not me.
Of course
Oh,
not you.
no.
Your Majesty. We'll go drain the love from those pathetic ponies in Ponyville just as you ordered.
Oh. 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 Oh my word.
Thank heavens we found you. There's an emergency, and we need you, Sandbar.
Okay, what's his?
My first friendship adventure! Yes! Count me in! Oh, I've been waiting for this. Wait, the others!
We don't need them! We need you! Come on!
Okay. So what's his fear? What is... Whoa.
Gallus, get it together.
Every time he touches a beam of light, it gets tighter.
Ah, chill!
Ooh. Uh-oh.
Okay, if this is a test, there's got to be a way out. It's
Yeah.
just a puzzle. That will squash you. If you don't figure it out.
Oh. Oh, different color beam of light. Okay. Oh, going backwards. There you go.
Oops.
Almost. Almost. Yes! Ooh. Whew. Too close.
Look, I have to get out of here and find my friends, so just tell me what I have to do to pass this test. I'm not afraid of anything.
Oh, really?
I don't know. Seems like she's afraid to be cute and adorable.
Oh no!
Just afraid to admit she likes being cute and adorable.
Oh my word!
Just this once. May I have some tea, please?
But you can't have tea if you aren't dressed for it.
Oh no!
Okay, but let's keep this between us.
What happens in the Vision Quest stays in the Vision Quest. Oh my word! Too much makeup. Too much makeup. Oh. Wow. Okay. That fan art all the way. Yes. Okay. This is. Yeah. This might be my cave. This is so wrong. Wait, what?
Huh?
What?
Yona no mean to scream. Yona love making friends. Spiders, friends?
What?
Oh, wait, what little spiders say?
Can she understand the spider? I'm confused on that one.
What happened to you?
Why are you still wailing that?
You never saw any of that. Got it.
She likes that more than she will ever admit.
Maybe the others got out already and we're the last ones?
Yeah, that totally seems like something they would do.
Any other dragon or griffin would save themselves and get out of this crazy cave.
Guess we aren't just any dragon and griffin anymore.
Guess not.
Nope.
You go that way, I'll check over there.
Yes! I like this plan. Okay, what's up with Sandbar?
I really should find my friends.
Darling, it was so generous of you to take the time to teach those other creatures about friendship. But
Wait a minute.
do something that really
This is a
makes
test of
difference.
loyalty.
We need to know where your loyalty lies.
Smolder was a test of honesty.
You do want to impress us,
Gallus
don't you,
was...
Sandbar?
Not sure on that one yet, but...
Huh? Ocellus? No way. We're still in those weird caves beneath the school. We've got to get out of here. Chrysalis! Where's Ocellus? It's me. I'm here.
Oh... This voice on this character is so weird.
Hello? Where are you?
Wow.
The Storm King will hear you.
Storm King? He was defeated. We're still under the school. This is all just some crazy test.
Oh.
That's horrifying.
Yeah.
I can't find any hippogriffs or sea ponies. They must all be captured.
Gallus, get back down here.
What? What?
It's not real.
Yes, it is!
Okay.
That and I'm never gonna see another sunset or fly through a cloud bank or study plumbing. He's gonna take away everything I love. I'm gonna be trapped down here forever.
I'm afraid of being trapped too.
Okay, I think Yona's
scared of small
kindness. This
spaces.
one
Really?
is...
Yeah. I was stuck in a room that kept shrinking, but I realized that I had to face my fear, and I found the way out. This is your test. He isn't really here.
But what if he is?
And tell him exactly what you think of him.
Oh.
Hey!
Come on, do
Storm
it.
King!
Do it.
You're nothing but a big old bully with a silly name and a goofy crown. You thought you could scare us into doing whatever you wanted.
The faces.
We learned that together we're stronger than you. And
Yes!
now that we're rid of you, we're gonna soar through the sky and go on adventures and never give you another thought ever!
Nice.
I did it! I told him!
Yes, you did.
Okay. Hug time later.
Aww.
We still have to get back to the library.
You're a changeling. Just change back. I can't.
Oh.
Maybe my past was so horrible. It's still inside me, just waiting to come out again.
Oh.
Ridiculous. That's not who you are anymore. You've changed.
Yes.
Maybe we can't really change that much.
I like cute, silly stuff.
I'm sorry, what? I like cute, silly stuff.
Ever since school started, I've realized that sometimes I kind of don't mind cute stuff.
Aww. Spoiled as a brony.
Like me can admit she likes tea parties. That's proof we can change. I was gonna invite you to a top secret tea party with me, but if you want to stay down here...
Oh, no, I want to come.
Yes.
I thought that might work. Come on, let's go!
Okay, down to Yona and Sandbar.
The way out is closing!
We aren't leaving without them.
Nope.
Yona finds you guys!
And she's brought all the spiders.
Yona,
Who's your spider army?
Yona always scared of spiders, but then Yona meets Spindle.
Spindle.
Yona realized no reason to be afraid. Spiders and Yak friends. So Yona asked
Well, it doesn't always work that way, but sure, great.
friends.
Do you think your new friends can help us find Sandbar?
Of all the
Okay.
strange things that have happened tonight, that's the strangest,
It-
right?
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Okay, enough.
Put your
I'm
hoof
not
down.
going
Thank you.
anywhere without my friends.
So you don't care about any pony but your friends? Are you really that selfish?
Oh, that's low.
Really are such a disappointment.
I've always looked up to you. You would never turn your back on each other, and that's what makes you strong. Now I have a group of friends that I think is every bit as amazing as yours. If I have to give up on them to make you proud, then you aren't the ponies I thought you were. I don't care if I disappoint you. You disappoint me.
Oh.
Did you just tell our professors you were disappointed?
Something tells me those weren't actually our professors.
Yeah, either that or they're
Besides,
putting on a very good
try to get
act.
between me and my friends.
That's all very sweet. Now can we please get out of here?
Okay.
You.
Oh,
You're not
ooh.
Headmare Twilight, are you?
Oh no, it is the tree.
Tree of Harmony. The Tree of Harmony turned into a sparkly version of our head mirror to talk to us? Did I miss a chapter in class?
I don't care if this is this, all this.
As I have grown, so have my abilities.
I'm a bit rusty on pony history, but since when does the Tree of Harmony trap creatures in a cave with their biggest fears?
You chose what you saw in my roots, not me.
Our friendship got us past our fears.
Yes.
You were more concerned with each other's well-being than your own. You were strong when your friends were weak. You let each other in and showed that you would be there for each other no matter what. Friendship is in your nature.
Wow!
We just learned a friendship lesson from a tree, didn't we?
You just got one of the biggest privileges in all of Equestria.
I came back with my notes and saw this and didn't know what to think. We're back.
Oh
right.
my
The
word!
Tree of Harmony, and we totally passed. The Tree of Harmony? Here? Yeah. Well, below here, under the school. We found this and went down and met the tree, and Gallus was all, friendship is not mine. And the tree was like, what?
These faces!
Long story short, friendship is in our nature. The tree said so.
I guess we should tell some pony there's a giant magical hole in the library.
Yeah, it's gone.
We have to tell our professors about this. They won't believe that.
You can't.
What? What?
Because it's my fault.
Wait.
You were all getting along so well, and I felt left out. I was jealous, and it upset you so much the Tree of Harmony had to test you. Oh, I'm gonna get expelled for sure. Please don't tell any pony about this, especially the professors. Please.
Okay. I'm actually too tired to do anything right now.
Yeah, but we can't go to sleep. We'll miss the test.
The test! I almost forgot.
What time is it?
We're all gonna fail.
Aww.
What if I tell Professor Sparkle I needed help organizing these books and you were all kind enough to pitch in? I'll get you an extension.
That would be a lie.
Oh, thanks, Cozy. That's nice of you.
I'm just so sorry I caused all of this. You're such good friends. I'm sorry I ever doubted you. No problem. Friendship is...
You almost said it.
Yes.
Friendship is magic.
Don't give any of this another thought. Just let Cozy take care of everything.
Oh my word! You stay right there. I'll be right back. Okay, everyone. This was a big episode. This really felt like a two-parter crammed into a single episode. There's so much going on with this, with character development and world building and all of the stuff. I've got a crazy amount of notes on this, like a ridiculous amount of notes, and it's going to take so long to get through this, so I'm actually going to be looking a little more on my screen here. I'm pretty much going to be reading this more like a script just so I can get through this in a reasonably quick amount of time. So let's go, and hopefully you guys can all keep up with me here. So, I'm going to start with Cozy Glow. As you all know, I don't want her to be evil, but I'm starting to feel like I'm losing that argument. Still, I have kind of mixed feelings about the whole thing. There's things that just don't quite add up yet. When she started poking at the weaknesses of each of the students, it did seem very obvious that she was manipulating them for some reason. However, she then offered to get her notes to help them, notes that we never actually got to see. So I was uncertain whether or not she was actually somehow trying to help them in her own way, or, what was going on there. Later, when she appeared immediately after the students made it out of the caves, my very first thought was that she was actually working with the Tree of Harmony, and that the whole manipulation thing was just all part of the plan to get them down there in the first place. And even before that, I wondered if she was actually working with Twilight, the real Twilight, to help find a creative way for the students to learn the material and become better friends. Twilight isn't usually that clever, but she's done little things here and there that are interesting enough that I wouldn't really put it past her either. So, but obviously that didn't happen, though. So again, I thought maybe Cozy is part of the Tree of Harmony. And it may seem like a stretch, but it would actually explain a lot of things. It would explain why Cozy actually helped the CMCs back in Marks for Effort at the risk of not making it into the school herself, because she really is all about helping friends. It would also explain why she might allegedly have given the curriculum book to Flim and Flam, as that could have been a way to alert Twilight to the presence of their fake friendship school, something that she needed to deal with. And don't forget that Harmony said that her abilities are actually growing stronger, so it's not impossible to think that she actually created Cozy Glow and placed her in the school to be her eyes and ears, help guide things there, kind of at a little bit smaller level than actual cutie map adventures. That in turn would also explain how Harmony knew that the students were having trouble with friendship in the first place and that they needed to go through those trials. As for Cozy Glow not wanting the students to tell the main six about their adventure down there, my immediate thought was that Harmony just doesn't want to fully reveal herself just yet. However, all of that said, there is a lot of problems with this theory, which is making it harder and harder to think that Cozy Glow is not at least somewhat evil. For one thing, the way in which she got the young six all depressed doesn't really seem like something Harmony herself would really do, even as part of a plan to send the students down into the caves. Harmony is typically much more straightforward than that. In terms of thinking of her in terms of things like the cutie map adventures and stuff like that. Also, her later offer to lie to Twilight to keep the students from getting in trouble for sleeping through the test isn't really something that Harmony would do either, since one of Harmony's own elements is, of course, honesty. Furthermore, Cozy Glow seemed genuinely surprised at what had happened to them, and also was legitimately scared that they were going to tell the main six about it. Then at the end, she asked them not to give the whole thing any further thought, and she said, "Just let Cozy take care of everything." All those things that she said and the way that she said them seems to very heavily imply that she is up to no good in some fashion. And then there's the fact that she's been seen numerous times doing all kinds of extra, assistant jobs around the school, helping Twilight with various tasks. I can think of basically 3 reasons for this. Either she is just very helpful, or she's trying to, by nature, or she's trying to get extra credit at the school, or, which is most probable, she's trying to get very close to Twilight and gain access to information she wouldn't otherwise be privy to for whatever nefarious things might be happening here. So, yeah, the case for her being evil is definitely building. I admit that. Of course, I also expected her to get an evil grin on her face when she's looking down into the caves there at the end, and instead she just kind of smiled with her eyes wide open. So I'm not quite sure what to make of that. We're really being toyed with this character. It's so it's so frustrating to try to figure out what she's all about at this point. And all that said, I have to ask, who are all the players in whatever is going on here? I don't believe a little filly like Cozy Glow is the mastermind behind whatever's going on. I mean, she's clearly much more than a pawn, as evidenced by her rook chess piece cutie mark, and how she seems to be playing some sort of long con in all of this. It's just unclear who the real mastermind of the evil plot is, though. It really can't be Chrysalis, because for one thing, I don't think she's this smart. And also, if she had this plan going on with Cozy Glow, there would have been no reason for her to attempt what she did with the Mean Six. Also, the Mean Six seemed to be her first attempt at trying to control ponies, so it really makes no sense at all for her to be behind Cozy Glow's actions. Just having, working with Cozy Glow would have given her a little experience on that already, one would think. And Chancellor Neisei doesn't really seem, to me at least, like he's behind this either. Keep in mind that we don't know how he got involved with Friendship University, which is the only time we've seen him since the series premiere. The season premiere, sorry. We don't know if he's the one who put Flim and Flam up to it, or if he simply came along and took advantage of the situation to get back at Twilight. He did not award full accreditation to the school until he saw Starswirl there, and he seemed genuinely surprised by Starswirl's presence, which in my mind suggests that he was more just taking advantage of the situation that was presented. So either he's a really good actor, or he wasn't really the mastermind behind Friendship University. And of course, I do realize that Cozy Glow seemed to be using the Young Six's cultural differences to kind of drive a wedge between them in this episode, which is, of course, in line with Neisei's ideology. But like Chrysalis, if he already had Cozy Glow working undercover within the school, playing some sort of long game, then why even bother with Friendship University? At best, it seemed like it was a petty revenge thing against Twilight, and if he had something bigger going on there, it seems to me like that was just a big waste of time and effort. So, where does that leave us here? At this point, I honestly still have more questions than answers. Cozy Glow is obviously an important player in whatever's going on, but she's a rook, not a queen. So I'm convinced that there's someone else behind all of this, somehow. My current suspicion is that there's actually an evil mastermind at work here who we even have yet to meet. I've really felt that ever since the episode Surf and Her Turf, that there's more to Cozy Glow than meets the eye. Or, I'm sorry, that was put the wrong episode in there. It was Marks for Effort, not Surf and Her Turf. But yeah, since the first time we met Cozy Glow, there's more to her than meets the eye. And due to just how strongly she's being made to look bad, I can't help but think that she still might not be totally evil. And that there's going to be some kind of epic plot twist coming pretty soon that will completely change our view of her. And it really kind of needs to happen soon, too, because as the season here is almost over. Unless they plan to drag whatever this is into Season 9, which actually could happen very easily. We've already got story threads spanning multiple seasons, such as Chrysalis's story arc. So, and I'm pretty sure that the season finale is going to revolve around Chancellor Naysay in some way, but if he's not the one behind Cozy Glow, then either things are going to happen very fast in the next few episodes to wrap all this up, or this is actually going to spill over into Season 9, which would make for a rather long and frustrating hiatus while we're sitting here wondering what's going to happen. Anyway, I need to move on from this topic, but suffice it to say, I'm going to be very interested to see what happens with Cozy Glow here in the near future. Now, as for the Tree of Harmony, we just got a major expansion of canon regarding this tree. I have said tons of times that I believe the tree to be a sentient being. This absolutely 100% confirms that. Also, Harmony said that, like all living things, she changes as she grows, and as she's grown, so have her abilities. This explains a lot. Just to take a step back, remember that when Luna and Celestia took the elements to use against Discord over 1,000 years ago, they took them from the tree. That, it seems like, may have weakened the tree, allowing those plunder seeds that Discord planted to finally overpower it after all that time, as we saw back in the Season 4 premiere. Perhaps the tree didn't really grow much during that time, because she was doing all she could just to hold those plunder seeds at bay. But ever since the main six returned the elements to the tree, big things have been happening. First, the crystal chest was created, like immediately, which ended up being a seed that grew into Twilight's castle. After that, the cutie map was created to send the main six to help those in need in faraway places. Also, at first, only the main six, the actual element bearers, were called to help. But then the map expanded its reach to include Spike, Starlight, and now even the CMCs, all of whom, of course, are very closely connected to the element bearers. Also, the cutie map has expanded in size now, and is reaching to areas outside of Equestria, such as Mount Eris. And of course, let's not forget how the cutie map itself persisted through all the alternate timelines that Twilight experienced at the end of Season 5. I mean, that seems like a pretty big power to have there. And I have heard it argued that it could be because the map is like a fixed point in time, like it's always going to be there regardless. But quite honestly, after just seeing what happened with the Young Six in this episode, I'm actually starting to wonder if Twilight and Starlight ever even actually time traveled at all, or if that entire thing was just pulled from their imaginations like it was for the Young Six during these trials. So, chew on that for a while. That's an interesting one to think about. But in any case, we've now reached the point where Harmony is capable of physical manifestation. I have dreamed about this for so long, now it's actually happened. I'm not really sure yet what this means, but I cannot wait to see where it goes. I've had the idea for quite a while now that there's, I think I've mentioned this before, where there's always actually been 7 elements of Harmony, and that Harmony herself is the 7th element. Now that we see Harmony, I would say that's now entirely plausible. Also, reaching into the Equestria Girl side of things, obviously someone or something sent the geodes over from Equestria for the Humane 7 there. And it makes perfect sense that Harmony was responsible for this, in part due to her growing abilities. Also note that there are 7 geodes, the 7th being Sunset Shimmer. Given that Harmony doesn't have a direct presence in that world, if the elements of Harmony are incomplete without the 7th element, then it makes sense she would have had to send a 7th geode over so that the magic power was complete. But anyway, now that Harmony can physically manifest herself, perhaps she's about to start taking a more active role in events, and I can't even begin to imagine all the possibilities with that. It's gonna be crazy. Now let me throw another thing at you. I find it very interesting that the Cutie Map expansion happened right after the pillars returned. Since the tree seems to have grown from the seed created by their magic, perhaps their return has further empowered Harmony in some way. Also, since the events of the movie canonically took place between Season 7 and 8, I'm sure Harmony took notice of the need to bring friendship to the other creature races as well, hence why the map suddenly grew to expand beyond Equestria's borders. I also find it interesting that Harmony now appeared in physical form for the first time right after we reconnected with Rockhoof and all the other pillars. I don't think that timing is coincidental. And also of no interest is she appeared to the young 6. Not the main 6, not Celestia and Luna, not even the pillars. The young 6 first. This is quite a special honor for them, I think, and a matter of great significance, in my opinion. I think we may be close to witnessing something truly epic here. You could say that the pillars were the first version of the elements of Harmony. The elements born from the Tree of Harmony that the main 6 bonded with are then version 2.0. Then the tree appears to the young 6 and tests them by making them all face their biggest fears, and they grow much stronger as friends as a result. I feel like that, along with that, there is now sufficient evidence that the young 6 really could be the elements of Harmony 3.0. You know, wouldn't necessarily be called that, but something along those lines. Just as Harmony herself has grown and changed, so have the elements, so it really kind of makes perfect sense. The 6 creature races united together in harmony could usher in a golden age of peace in the world, the likes of which has never been seen before. Just to note, though, the current elements have been closely tied to cutie marks, and the other creatures don't even get cutie marks. But could that be about to change? I mean, this is definitely a stretch, but I'm just thinking about it. Is it possible that when the 6 nations fully ally themselves together and work together to ward off whatever great evil I fear may be approaching, perhaps they will all unlock the ability to obtain cutie marks instead of just the ponies? I don't even know that Harmony has that ability, but it might not even be a thing specifically around her. You know, cutie mark magic is still very mysterious, so there's no telling what untapped potential might be there. You know, but whatever the case, clearly the young 6 are being prepared for something big. So I can't wait to see what the end game is going to be for all of this. And now just to briefly address what I'm sure is a major talking point here, it begs the question, is Harmony actually turning evil to some degree? You know, it does seem a little bit odd that she got so angry when she saw the disharmony amongst the students. Even more strange is that she locked them down in the caves and forced them to face their fears while threatening to keep them down there forever if they failed their tests. Add to that the fact that the tree was very recently tampered with a bit by Chrysalis when she created the Mean 6, and it's easy to wonder if Harmony has been affected in some way by that. All that said, I don't personally see anything that really strongly suggests that that is true. It's been clear for quite a long time that Harmony has been somewhat strong-willed, with the cutie map missions and everything. And I feel like her anger was more of a righteous anger, in that she is just frustrated with the idea that there are still so many creatures out there that honestly don't think friendship is in their nature when that just isn't true. As for locking the students down there, I don't think there was any chance of that ever actually happening. I think that if they had failed, she still would have let them out, and it was just more of a way to motivate them than anything. And, keep in mind that Harmony seems to have some foresight abilities. I mean, the Tree of Harmony itself had the cutie marks of Celestia, Luna, and Twilight on it before the princesses even found it. So, clearly there's some prophecy and foresight involved there. That's not to say that she knows everything that will happen, but at the very least, she could probably see a lot of possible outcomes, and at least has some insight into which outcomes are more probable. I think she knew that the students' friendship was too strong for them to really let each other down. She just needed them to be able to, face and overcome their fears in order to fully embrace their friendship and as it was their fears that were holding them all back a bit. And let's just take a quick look at those fears, actually. For Gallus, he had a fear of being trapped in confined spaces. I mean, something that I think a lot of people can relate to. I think this could be both a literal and a figurative fear. Remember, he's an orphan, and before coming to the school, it seemed like he really had no family or friends to speak of. He probably felt trapped in his own little world with really no way out. Even at the school where he found some friends, he has to live among the ponies, whose culture he's struggled very much to adapt to, and he might feel kind of trapped there in order to stay with his friends. In the test, though, it was the thought of needing to escape and help his friends out that forced him to calm down, think through the problem, and find a way to escape. He then admitted his fear to Silverstream, which I think was a huge step for him. I think he realizes that as long as he has his friends, he never needs to feel trapped again. Silverstream obviously had a major fear that the Storm King would return and once again try to enslave the Hippogriffs. Natural, I would say. The Hippogriffs as a whole never really confronted the Storm King and his armies. Rather, they just ran away from him by hiding underneath their underwater as the sea ponies. Silverstream and the others of her race are likely still living with a deep-seated fear that he will one day return and try to enslave them all again, or someone like him. By finding the courage to confront the Storm King and state that they're now stronger than him because they have friends and are no longer afraid of him, I think Silverstream can now boldly face the future without constantly looking over her shoulder. Smolder, she's kind of in a bit of a tough spot. As a dragon, she's quite obviously thoroughly ingrained in a culture that's all about bravado and competition, and one that looks down on anything that can be perceived as a weakness. As such, the dragons basically have no time for anything, cute and cuddly and silly and whatever. Smolder has likely been ridiculed by other dragons from back home because that she's now living with the ponies and learning about friendship. Also, she's discovered over time that she herself actually likes cute, silly things, and if the dragons back home ever find out about that, she'll probably never hear the end of it. And Smolder is quite honestly not unlike a lot of bronies out there, I think. And I think she's kind of at war with herself a little bit, both finding herself liking things about the pony culture, but also kind of holding everything out at arm's length so as to not allow herself to, lose her edge as a dragon, lose that side of her. But I think by being able to admit to herself and her friends that she actually does enjoy cute things, I think she'll be able to more fully embrace the culture of friendship. And I don't think it'll really change her either. I mean, she's still going to be a dragon. That will still always be part of her. But now she can be that and more. Ocellus has never really alluded much to her past as a corrupt changeling. We don't really know much about that piece of her background. But given that she not only saw herself here as a corrupt changeling again, but even went so far as to see herself as Queen Chrysalis, I have to wonder just how close Ocellus was to the queen. Perhaps she was quite close, maybe even next in line to become queen if anything ever happened to Chrysalis herself. Regardless, clearly she now realizes just how bad they were, and the fear that they will always be the fear that they will always be bad deep down, and that they can't ever really truly change, has kind of been haunting her. By thinking that she's never really going to be good, then I think she's been unable to fully embrace friendship the way that she should. Perhaps afraid that she might at some point hurt her friends again, like some of that bad side of her will come out again, and she'll do something that she will very much regret. But when she heard Smolder admit how much she herself had changed, I think Ocellus realized that it really, truly is possible to change, and that she just needs to put the past behind her and move on. Kind of like Silverstream did. I mean, not that Ocellus realized it at that point, but just saying, both Silverstream and Ocellus have got pieces of their past that are holding them back, and they need to leave that in the past and move forward. Yona had a fear of spiders. Once again, I think a large number of us can probably relate to that fear. But I think this might have been even much more of a big deal for her. Maybe her fear of spiders was something that the other yaks saw as a weakness in her. Yaks in general don't seem to be very big on admitting that they're afraid of anything, really. Yona is a very kind soul, though, and she just wants to be friends with everyone. By allowing herself to face the spiders and realize that they didn't actually want to hurt her, she was able to become friends with them. And if she could make friends with the creatures that she fears the most, I think maybe she could be friends with anyone. Now, Sandbar was a tough one to figure out because, we really haven't gotten a whole lot of backstory or character growth for him. Probably the least amount of any of the Young Six to date. And initially it seemed to me like his trial was more of a test of loyalty than it was him facing a fear. But I think what it was, though, is that he really didn't want to disappoint his teachers. Clearly he's quite familiar with all their adventures, and how they saved Equestria multiple times over. They've likely been his role models, and he's been waiting for the chance to be able to become as amazing of a friend as they are. In this trial, we saw him jump at the chance to go on a friendship quest, happy that his teachers would finally deem him worthy of such an honor. However, he had to bail on his friends in order to go through with it, and there he was faced with the choice of either letting his friends down or letting his teachers down, his role models. And fortunately, he finally came to the realization that helping out his friends was the most important thing, and that if the teachers thought he should abandon his friends just so he could go on the quest, then it was he who should be disappointed in his teachers, not the other way around. And just to throw this out there, even though this wasn't specifically alluded to very much in the episode, I think it's possible, as the only pony in this group, that he felt kind of pressured to be a good friend to them, since that's what ponies are all about, and, that he might have been afraid of letting them down in some way. And to that end, I think he may have realized here that he needed to stop being afraid of being a good friend and just be a good friend. Do or do not, there is no try. So, each of them had personal issues that in one way or another were holding them back. Their cultural backgrounds likely also caused some tension there that they might not even have realized was actually there, at least until Cozy Glow pointed it out. And if Cozy Glow did actually mean to push these friends apart, though, it sure backfired in a big way. By working past all these mental blocks here, they are now closer friends than ever before. And frankly, every bit as good friends as the main six, in my opinion. And on that note, again, I have to wonder, is this all foreshadowing of things to come? Will these six be the third generation elements of harmony in some fashion? I've even actually started to notice some interesting parallels with the current elements. Not so much with the main six as much, like in their personalities, but just in the traits. And here's the breakdown I've got of that. Ocellus, I think, is magic. She's the only one in the group with actual magic abilities with her changeling magic, so it's kind of a default. But more importantly than that, the element of magic kind of binds all the others together, and Ocellus has shown a strong leadership potential at times throughout the season. And I also don't think it's a coincidence here that she saw herself as Chrysalis, who is the leader of the changelings. Yona is kindness, is closely related to kindness. Being kind to the spiders, there was a big moment for her. And of course, she is like Fluttershy in so many ways. I think she just wants to be kind and friendly to all creatures, no matter what kind they are. Sandbar is loyalty, obviously. He proved his loyalty to his friends much the same way that Rainbow Dash did way back in the series premiere. Silverstream is laughter. She's just so happy and bubbly and fun to be around. She always sees the best in everyone and everything, and it's hard not to smile when she gets excited about stuff. Gallus, I think, is generosity. He has given more of himself, a griffin, to his friends than pretty much all the other current griffins alive, except maybe Gabby. And Smolder, I think, is honesty. The way that she was able to be honest with herself about, the things that she enjoys, has allowed her to discover her true self. That deep down level of honesty, when you're able to be honest with yourself about stuff, that's going to open up some big doorways for you, I think. Now, of course, none of these are really, exact matches to the main six, but then again, they shouldn't be. If there really is going to be a third generation of the elements of harmony, they will be different than the current ones, just like the current elements are only loosely related to the original pillars from which they were created. Now, I don't know what's actually in store for these young six, but I do believe their friendship is the real deal, and I see an incredible amount of potential in them. I really can't wait to see them stand up to Chancellor Naysay, at the very least, and who knows what else they might be able to do. So, that's my thoughts on this one. A lot of thoughts, a lot of notes. Hope you're able to keep up, but man, fantastic episode. One of the best ones this season, I think. It's, you know, major kudos to the writers for being able to cram so much into one episode and really start to tie together a lot of the storylines and things that are going on in this season. And all I know is these last few episodes are going to be very interesting because I get the feeling things are going to start happening very, very quickly. They already have started happening very quickly, and I think it's going to continue into the finale here. So definitely looking forward to that. But for now, I got to wrap this up. Thank you for watching, everyone, and I will see you again for the next episode. Later.